Hello and welcome to the OMFL Jacksonville Jaguar review. I'm your host Mike Fleury, and in this episode we will be going over the Olu Fashanu trade. But first, this is a re-record. So what happened was I went into the video that I had made a couple days ago to check audio, to check if it needed any touch-ups or editing. I don't usually have to. These are the easy ones to make, but I decided to go in, and what I found was the audio was kind of garbled. There was popping, there was some cutting out. The best I can figure is that I had the controller on my lap as I recorded, and moving around the screens caused the cord that connects to the controller to connect and disconnect a bunch. So I have 3 episodes totaling about an hour and 20 minutes of recording that are completely unusable. So we're starting again. Fortunately, this does provide a bit of an opportunity for me to try something completely different and that might make these videos easier. Typically how these videos are made, I record them on the first day, so let's say Monday. I'll record them on Monday to YouTube. I'll do a stream in private. I'll record the video. Well, then I wait until YouTube lets me download the video, which takes, I think, 24 hours. If it's any less, I wouldn't notice anyways, because I'm either at work or asleep by the time the video becomes available. So 24 hours later, I get the video. By then, I've probably listened to it. Let's just say there's no editing needed. I then have to download it, put it into the program I use to edit videos, to put the intro in. Then once I'm done, I can pull that episode off of the site I use to put all that together. I use Clipchamp as opposed to, I didn't download anything, I'm just using it straight online. So I export the video. That, with these videos, because of how long they are, that can sometimes take a little while. Once I get that, assuming everything's gone smoothly, I can then put that video up on the channel the second day. Put the video up Tuesday. Unless I'm playing a game Tuesday and I'm not able to just focus on anything and I have to do a bunch of different things before work, then sometimes I'll record Monday and I won't post till Wednesday. Mostly because of the problem with YouTube and how long it takes for them to let me download. I'm recording this episode directly to my laptop. My thought process is I will record the episode in private on my PlayStation. I'll put a video up on private, so as I'm going through things, I will be able to talk about what I'm seeing, and then recording the audio to my computer, I will then be able to watch the video that I make from PlayStation and pull off screenshots of the things that I'm talking about. And because I'm only using screenshots, I don't have to wait 24 hours or whatever to download the video. I can just finish the episode, finish talking, throw that into my video editor, grab all the screenshots, throw them into the video editor, done. Hopefully, that makes this whole process take less than a day. There's no editing, there's no worry about video issues, streaming issues. Sometimes I've streamed where it tells me I'm streaming and then it doesn't have a stream at the end. I end the stream and then I go to look for the stream on like my channel on the like the part of YouTube where you can like see all your videos, all your private videos, everything, and it's just not there. I've had a couple do that, and I don't know why that is, because I see the counter on the PlayStation telling me how long I've been recording. It's just been one annoying thing after another with all of this. So instead, I thought, why not just start using screen captures? So you'll see, if I'm talking about Justin Fields, you'll see that. If I'm talking about a specific game, you'll see the stat. You can see the stats. You'll see just like static pictures. Because, so the issue that I'm having is if these videos start having audio issues that I have to go in and start cutting down parts of the episode for, then these are no different than the highlight videos. And I'm only doing 5 highlight videos a year because they take, or a season, because they take too long. Like, you get the first 24 hours to download it, then you get it, and I have to rewatch the entire episode, write down all the parts that, like, all the timestamps that I need, go in, edit the entire thing, splice it all together. It's time consuming. Sometimes I don't get the videos done on the second day, so I don't get them uploaded until the third day. It shouldn't take 3 separate days to get a video up. At least not one of these videos, not one of the reviews. The highlight videos, fine. I usually do them on my day off, and I can power 1 or 2 because I have the game tape pre-recorded. I use older games, and then I catch up as the season goes. Well, these videos, they come out more often. If I have to start doing audio editing, it'll take forever. These videos are 20 minutes a piece. The highlights are 2 to 5, depending on the game. It just didn't make sense. So the screenshot idea gives me a little more flexibility with time. It also gives me the opportunity to try some new fun things, because now that I'm able to do all of this in one day, in one shot, maybe record in the morning like I'm doing right now, and then do all the stuff at night. I can get the video or the audio's immediate. I get everything I need. Now maybe I can start messing around with in-game clips. So not this episode, not next episode, but the one after that, the third one I had recorded that I'm gonna have to redo. I started talking about the Seattle game. In that game were maybe 4 different plays that I explained kind of changed the outcome of the game. He and I had played very even to that point, and there were just like a cluster of plays kind of early on, maybe in the second quarter, leading into the early third, that that when you chain them back to back to back, you kind of see a sequence where the game was decided almost. Now, with this new idea, as I'm discussing or talking about the plays, I can insert clips of those plays so you can see what I'm talking about. It's just all a little extra production value into the show, gives it a little kind of a different feeling to it. I don't think there are a lot of shows in the OMFL spectrum, maybe the grown folks community, that puts in-game highlights in, so it'll be a little bit different, so you're not just listening to me drone on for 20 minutes. So this is the plan. We're going to test it out on probably Friday, and we're going to try to see if maybe we can have a little fun with these videos and kind of change it up for Season 3 and beyond. Now that we've gotten through all that, we've discussed all that, it's time to jump into the actual point of this video, which is the Olu Fashanu trade. For those who don't know, I traded my first and second round picks. At the time, were 11th and 43rd overall, if my math is right on that one. Valued at about 1,700 points for Olu Fashanu, left tackle, and I believe at the time center Joe Tippmann, who I have since moved to right guard. Tippmann is 24, 76 overall. I have him as a right guard right now. He's more of a pass blocker than a run blocker for the moment, but he's got some good skills. Star development. He'll continue to grow for a little while. He's cheap for another couple seasons. Just a really good young player. But the big get in all this is my new right tackle, Fashanu, who is 84 overall, superstar development, only 1 year experience, which means he's got this year plus 2 more, and I believe a 5th year option. He is far more balanced, and just like a really, really good. I think he's like his morale right now. I'm looking it up while I'm talking. His morale is 44. Anyways, we're not going to get into that. So this trade, the background of it, stems from one major decision, and that was the quarterback position. As far as I was concerned, I had 3 options. 1, I could draft a quarterback. 2, I could trade for one in the offseason. Or 3, I could sign Fields. The first thing I had to do was evaluate Fields. Played a couple weeks, saw what he could do, what he couldn't do. Some of the issue is that while mobile, it's not a very usable speed given the sliders and just the kind of way that we're meant to play in this league. He's fast, but the second you press the trigger, the line sheds. I could probably use him a little bit better, getting out of the pocket, or I can use him a little bit better, scrambling like through the line and get a couple yards. But that's not really how I play. So I had to base all of my decisions on whether or not he could pass in my offense. And through most of the weeks, he was pretty good at it. So that made it a little easier. I was looking at the draft. There are 4 decent QBs, but it's so early you don't know how good they really are. And to get a QB, you to get a good one, you probably have to be in the top 15. Otherwise, you're getting a kind of a development project. I mean, they're all development projects, but you're getting one that's probably 71 to 73, and you're hoping they have a really good development trait so that you can get them really quickly. But it's almost a wasted season to start a rookie quarterback in this game because they're a rookie quarterback generated by Madden. I should be more specific because they generally aren't that good to start. And you need to be in the top 15 to get them, especially considering option 2 feeds into this. There are going to be quarterbacks for trade probably this offseason. Houston's talking about trading Stroud. Vikings are talking about trading McCarthy. There are other teams who have quarterbacks they maybe don't so much need. I think the Chargers drafted a pretty solid rookie, but they have Herbert, so maybe they put that rookie QB up as a potential trade chip. I know they have a development trade. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably star, but it's not normal. So that's a step up right there. So drafting a quarterback didn't seem, unless I was going to lose out the rest of the year and try to compete for that number 1 pick, didn't seem like a viable idea. And my team's too good to not win at least a handful of games, even with bad quarterbacking play. So it didn't make sense for me to bank on using my first round pick for that. And then the trade route, the two quarterbacks I just named, McCarthy and Stroud, are worth 2,200 and I think like 1,800 points on their own. And that was at the time of the trade with like 12 weeks left in the season for them to grow. So they were only going to get better, more expensive. To do that kind of trade, you would need my first and second round pick as was were 1,700 points. So I would have to add more than my first and second just to get them. It didn't make sense. It didn't to throw that much pick value at one position when my offensive line needed a lot of work, when I have other spots that I'm going to need to fill because I have players that are getting kind of older or free agents. It didn't make sense to make any kind of trade for that kind of value for one player. To get those kind of points, to make up the difference by just using a draft pick, you really have to be drafted in the top like 8 picks to make your first and second worth it. To make it just your first, you probably have to have top 4 pick, I think, maybe top 5. If I'm having a top 5 pick, I'm not going to trade them for a quarterback. So it really, like, because I'm going to get one in the draft. I'm going to get one of the better ones in the draft. So there really wasn't a point to thinking about making a trade after I realized how many points it was going to end up costing me. Fields, who's been fine and only wanted a 5-year deal worth about $20 million a year, do I just sign him and figure it out from there? And that's what I decided to do. I decided to sign Fields and make a deal with my picks for what I would have ended up drafting, offensive line. Fashanu is better than any first-round offensive line you're going to draft. You're probably not going to find one with superstar development to start, but even if you did, they're probably going to be in the 74 to 76 overall range. They're not going to be as good as he is. Tittman is probably as good or better than any second-round offensive lineman you're going to get. He's still young enough to develop. I've gotten him up 1 overall, I think, already. He's going to grow as time goes. He might not end up being a stud. Like, I know my third-round offensive lineman is already developing to be better than him because he has star development and he's young, so he's getting up levels really quick. So I get that Tittman's kind of got a lower ceiling than a second-round offensive lineman. But you don't need 5 superstar offensive linemen, 5 stud. You just need good enough. I need him to be good enough to fill in, and then I can use my third round picks, both of them, on maybe trying to find that diamond in the rough that I can maybe develop as my future center, because right now I'm using Scherf. So as I was going through all these thoughts, I figured, you know what? If I'm trying to win now, if I need offensive line improvement, which I did, I was having problems with pass blocking and run blocking. We'll get into that. My thought was, this is probably the best 2 players you can pick up for those picks. You might get older players for lesser picks, but they fall off. First of all, they're way more expensive because these guys are still in their rookie deal. Secondly, they're going to fall off so fast that it's not going to matter by like next season, the season after. Like, Scherf is going to fall off a cliff. Morse is going to fall off a cliff. Any guy I trade for is probably going to do exactly the same, and I'm not going to have the regression prevention because I'm going to use it on Lattimore. So I may as well go young, try to develop them up, and yeah, they might. Fashanu is going to be great. Tittman might have a ceiling, but it makes me better now, and it makes me better next season. And we'll figure the rest out. So I was 2-4 at the time, and I think the Jets decided to make the trade because they watched the game against San Francisco, where I lost. That game was it was kind of brutal. I gave up 4 sacks, so that's what kind of pushed me over the edge to say, you know what, I need to give up some picks, get some offensive linemen. But also being 2-4 probably made him think, well, he's having a rough season. I can get his pick. I've since been 3-1 since then, I believe. Wins over the Colts, Texans, Browns. Lost to the Seahawks. My pick's not as good, but I can see what he was thinking because he messaged me the minute that game was over. Oh, he was right there. Hey, I'll do that trade. You want to do that trade? Send it in right now. I was like, okay, man, cool. Don't be so excited about it. So basically, that game and the game before against the Rams, where I allowed 5 sacks, it made me realize that like Jedrick Wills wasn't the guy at left tackle, and I could use an improvement over Mitch Morse, or because Mitch Morse is I want to say a better pass blocker than run blocker. He's basically useless at run blocking. Scherf is actually kind of the same. So I would actually prefer to have, because I need to run the ball. I need to be able to run the ball. So if I can't run the ball with Scherf, who's got a 75 run block, Ezra Cleveland is an 85, so maybe I should be playing him if I'm trying. But he's so bad at pass blocking that it's really hard to like play him a lot. And with Morse, who's basically the same issue, 84 pass block but 70 run block. Tittman's 77 run block is better, and he's not that bad at pass blocking. It does downgrade a little bit, but Fashanu is so much better than everybody else and all this stuff. It just made the most sense to bring in some offensive line upgrades because I need to be able to run the ball. I need to be able to move the ball. I need to be able to have time to pass the ball. I don't tend to go deep downfield. And if I'm getting sacked trying to run, quick plays, shorter plays, in the intermediate to short range. So if I'm getting sacked because I'm waiting for this 8-yard out route to break, that's a problem. So with all that in mind, I decided to go ahead, make the trade, worry about the picks later. I'll worry about draft picks and imports and stuff later on in the cycle. Right now, I just want to get my quarterback off the ground. Want to give myself a chance to really develop my offense and see what I actually have with some of these guys. So that was those 2 games back to back were kind of my okay, it's time to make a change. And I was talking with the Jets already, so when he agreed, I jumped at it. I had no choice. And that's where we ended up. So I made the trade. You'll see hopefully a bunch of screen grabs of all these players and stuff on the screen during this. And that's where we are. I played a couple games since then. As I said, 3-1 since then, but technically 2-1 because I played the Indianapolis game before the trade went through. Still, they've helped a little bit. Pass game, I'm getting sacked less. Run game hasn't been much better, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out different ways to run the ball and different formations and different, you know what I mean? So we're working on it. Work in progress. Just like these videos. So I will probably record the next 2 videos today and tomorrow, or today, and maybe start posting them tomorrow. So that'll be Thursday. By after the Arizona game, which I haven't scheduled, but I assume I'm going to play Friday or Saturday, I will try to do another one of these. In that video, we will talk about the experience that I had doing the Seattle game, the Seattle-Cleveland Week 9-10, because that's the one I'm going to use to maybe edit some live game action into. And we'll talk about that then, see if that's something I'm going to continue doing. So, next episode will be Week 7 and 8. That's Colts-Texans, I believe. So, we're going to get into that. I'm going to get ready to record that. I'm going to listen to this audio, and hopefully it's not terrible, and we'll go from there. So, once again, this has been the Jacksonville Jaguars OMFL. Nope, that is not how that goes. The OMFL Jacksonville Jaguars review. As always, I have been your host, Mike Fleury, and I will try to do better next time.